So, when you meet an old friend for like the first time in so long, like you haven't talked to each other in maybe, say maybe 5, 7 years or so. Um, it's just like, riding a bicycle. It's just like you always pick up where you left off. Um, this one, this one feels a lot like that, but just a lot more special. It just feels it just feels more special in this instance. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strung from QuickTime Reactions, and hey, movie review on Monday. um, I usually don't do movie reviews on Mondays, but there was just so much that was released this weekend that it had to be pushed further into the week. So here we are with movie reviews on Monday. And yes, I'm saying movie reviews. My second review I will get to a little bit later in the day. But this, like I said in my intro, is very, very special because it has been 30 years, and I can't believe I'm saying that. It's been 30, it just does not seem real. 30 years since this movie came out, and I'm talking about the original Toy Story. To celebrate it turning 30 years old, they have re-released it back into theaters, and I was able to go and see it on the big screen for the first time ever. This, of course, the story was done by John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, Pete Docter, and Joe Ranft, with the screenplay actually being written by Stanton, Joel Cohen, Alec Sokolow, and Joss Whedon. Yes, the same man that did Buffy the Vampire Slayer and The Avengers. He wrote Pixar's first ever movie. And of course, it is directed by the legend John Lasseter. The voice cast for this is Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Anniepotts, donrickles, Wallace Shawn, and of course Pixar's Good Luck Charm. Although at the time they didn't know he would be their good luck charm, but he is now. John Ratzenberger. And of course, this tells the story about Andy's toys, more specifically about a cowboy named Woody, who is Andy's favorite toy in the whole wide world. But when a new toy comes along, a space ranger by the name of Buzzlightyear, there becomes a bit of friction between the two of them as they tried to jockey for who is Andy's favorite toy, and who will come out on the winning end of that. We'll have to wait and see. So, yeah, this is basically kind of the launch of what I consider to be one of the best animation studios of all time. This was where they got their start, and I'm not going to talk a lot about like story and all that stuff because everyone knows what happens in the story. I'm not going to talk about the voice cast because everyone does an absolutely amazing job. Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, just like everybody up and down the line does an absolutely amazing job in this cast. What I am going to talk about is a couple of things. First off, let's start with the animation, because I think that's going to be the big thing that everyone's going to be talking about 30 years after the film is released. You can definitely tell the age of the film with the animation, but in a similar instance to whenever I see clips or when I watch episodes of Jimmy Neutron, I don't care. it just feels like a nice, warm, cozy blanket that you want to just like snuggle up with, and it just feels comfortable, and it feels safe, like you're in a good spot when you're watching a film like this. And that's what I felt throughout the whole duration of the film. I felt like that I was a kid again. Um, and so the animation, the age of it really didn't bother me in the slightest. The second thing that I wanted to talk about was the point of, like, I've seen this movie so many times, whether it be on like Disney Channel or what used to be ABC Family, but now it's called Freeform. Like, whenever this movie played on TV, there would obviously be commercials. So when I watched it in theater, I immediately knew where the commercials were, like where they would break up the film to where they would put in the commercials. Because I was sitting there, and then a moment happened in the film, and I was like, yeah, that's where they would put a commercial. So it's just like, I've seen this movie so many times that I know where the commercial breaks are in the film, and it's just absolutely. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So let me know down in the comments if you think that's a good thing or a bad thing. But moreover, I just really wanted to talk about, you know, Pixar and its legacy. Really, not that, you know, they're in a bad shape. I mean, they're still going mighty strong today, but that initial team of people that were hired in by Disney to do the 6 original films before Disney bought out Pixar, I think in 2006, I want to say. Like Lasseter, Stanton, Doctor, and Ramft, who we no longer have Joe Ramft, but those other 3 we still have to this day. Lasseter has gone on to direct so many classic animated films, and even served as the head of, I think, both Pixar and Disney Animation for a time. I think either he is still serving as the head of Disney Animation, or Jennifer Lee is now the head of Disney Animation. It's one of the two. Andrew Stanton, he's given us many classic animated films as well. More so, the first one I think that comes to people's mind is Finding Nemo, of course. Pete Docter, he's also given us many classic animated films as well, from Monsters, Inc. to, quite arguably, I think maybe his most impactful, which is that first Inside Out movie. That, oh my gosh, that is turning 10 years old this year. Oh my gosh. That just made me sad. That's 10 years old. Oh God. Time moves so quickly. But yeah, these pillars of Pixar, who, like, Pete Docter is still working at Pixar, putting out amazing work with Pixar to this day. And Lasseter is, you know, such a household name, not only in Pixar, but also in Disney, that, you know, they've really shaped what animation has looked like. In the past, I would say, well, 30 years. Like, Pixar was the first fully CG animated movie, and, well, I mean, look at where we are now, where it is basically nothing but 3D animation. And on the rare occasions that, you know, we do get a 2D film, it's, you know, probably outside of the United States. So definitely when Toy Story came out, there was a big big time shift in just the way that animation is made and produced, not only here in the States, but also just globally as well. So, and, it's not, this wasn't the end, because, of course, Toy Story 2 came out, or the whole story with that movie's development, and then Toy Story 3, where I think everyone cried like a baby, and then Toy Story 4, which, has a bit of a mixed reception, but I will still defend that film to this day because me and my mom cried, I think, the last 15 minutes of that film. So, by my metric, that it made it worth it in the end. So, and I'm also very, very excited to see what they are going to do with Toy Story 5 coming out either next year or in 2027, one of the two. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this story is going to continue on. But yeah, that is kind of my review of the original Toy Story, and plus the legacy that Pixar has left ever since releasing Toy Story. If there is any chance that you have not seen this movie, go watch it on Disney Plus, or if it is showing at a theater near you, I highly suggest going and seeing Toy Story in a theater because it is an absolute fun time in a theater. But yeah, that is pretty much it for me, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what your guys' memories of Toy Story and Pixar, for that matter, are. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Be safe out there, and remember, you've always got a friend in me. I will catch you guys next time.